I just took the BMW R18 bagger to get its first service, and I completely forgot to put the handlebar camera on, so this is gonna be classic motovlogger style, first person helmet view chit chat. Woo! Believe it or not, the day I'm recording this is election day, so I am racing to get to the booths, the polls, the office, booth, whatever it's called. I'm gonna try to get there and put my votes in before it gets dark outside. I hope you can hear me. I feel like we are just really heading into the headwinds right now. But something funny was happening, and it totally, like, I don't film when I'm on the interstate because it's too noisy and boring. But something funny was happening. I noticed a lot of people, like, no matter what road I'm on, no matter what state I'm in, a lot of people break their necks looking at this motorcycle, man, and I don't blame them. And it just reminded me of a time over the summer when I thought it was me, you know? I was like, oh, I look so cool, so sexy on a motorcycle, and people are looking at me, until I rode with my husband, and Jordan was on this bike, the R18, and everyone was breaking their neck looking at him, and I was like, oh, okay, it's the bike. That's fine. It's a good looking bike. I'm okay with that. But it's just, I really do love seeing how people react to a motorcycle, especially, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, y'all, Ohio is Harley country. Who was it? It might have been Jody Perowitz. I was just hanging out with Jody Perowitz on the High Seas rally, and she was like, yeah, you're from Ohio, right? Ohio, from what she remembers, Ohio has the largest registered motorcycles in the nation, like in the country. And I was like, oh, wow, that's a fun fact I didn't know, but I totally believe it. There are bikers everywhere in this state. And I don't know the actual statistics, but I'm going to go ahead and say a vast majority of those motorcycles are Harley-Davidson. When you are in Harley country and more or less bagger country up here in Ohio, and you see something like this ride by, where it's like, wait a minute, wait, what is that? Wait. It's intriguing, and I like that. I think this is a very good looking bike, and it is special. It feels special. Oh gosh, you guys, it's 4:30 p.m. and like the sun's gone. It's time. The time has come. Hello darkness, my old friend. It is lovely though. I was a little worried booking the service in November, and I was like, let's do it later on in the afternoon, so maybe we'll have a chance to warm up. I think the high today was like 60 degrees Fahrenheit, so I'm like, okay, that's great, I'll ride, let's do it. It sucks when you have to ride in freezing cold to get to an appointment early in the morning, you know? I don't know if you know, a lot of people do your own maintenance, and that's great. I will never be one of those people. I don't enjoy it. It is what it is. But I was having a very nice conversation with a gentleman today in the dealership who, he said he's a subscriber as well. But we were talking about, you know, how I like the bike. And I was like, dude, you know what? It really caught me off guard how much I like this bike. And when I first rode the R18 Classic, that was the R18 that I had before the bagger, very first time I rode it, which you can check out that video right here, I'll link it down below as well. The first time I rode it, that bike actually scared the shit out of me. I was like, what did I get myself into? This is like nothing I'm used to riding. Oh God, I'm gonna kill myself. And that is my genuine reaction. After having the opportunity to ride that bike more, especially when I took it down to Costa Rica, it really grew on me, and it truly impressed me with how well the motorcycle handled. And so I'm stoked because I have the opportunity to ride this bagger now. It is not mine. I don't get to keep it, but I am working towards getting like an extended loaner and potentially adding some aftermarket parts to make the bike more suitable for longer distance travel and motorcycle camping. You might be asking yourself, like, well, what the hell do you mean, Perky Wheels? It's a bagger. Why can't you take it long distance right now? Well, you absolutely can. I can't. I carry way too much shit. And these bags are super tiny because they have the Marshall subwoofers in the back. So that takes up a ton of real estate in the saddlebags. I've been doing some research since this motorcycle is so brand new. They don't have a huge line of inventory and aftermarket parts to customize this bike. So So I think I found a luggage rack that I like, a sissy bar that'll allow me to put my sissy bar bag on, and I also found some engine guards with foot pegs. So and that's the biggest concern with a lot of people is you look down there, you can't put your feet up there. Well, I mean, you can. You gotta be a little flexible, but you totally can. And with the foot pegs, it allows you to completely rest your leg on it like that. And I just gave myself a Charlie horse. I didn't want to set my leg down on it because I'm not wearing protective jeans, but so I don't think I'm going to put those parts on this bike because I'm hoping to get a different bike in the future. Still the same R18B, still black and, just sexy, but I'm pretty excited for that because I really did want to take this bike on long distance trips this year. Unfortunately, the service break-in period is about 600 miles. No problem. 600 miles, no problem. The problem was I could not get the bike in for service when I needed to. So I was really hoping to have this motorcycle to take down to Florida with me when we went down during Biketoberfest and the Seminole Meet and Greet and the Blockhead Garage grand opening. Well, that didn't happen because a one-way trip from Ohio to Florida is 1,000 miles. The bike already had 600 miles on it. What the f*** is happening? God, Jeep in front of me scared the hell out of me. Jeep in front of me slowed down to go over those railroad tracks, and I'm assuming it's a manual transmission Jeep, and he failed to downshift while going over those railroad tracks. Oh man, that made my heart stop for a second. It almost rear-ended Jeep doing 55 miles an hour because homeboy can't downshift. Anyway, so we couldn't take the motorcycle to Florida with us because it would have gone well over the service limit. And it is what it is. It's fine. I got it serviced now and just in time for winter. So I don't think I'll be taking too many road trips on the bike this winter because I don't want to. It has nothing to do with whether or not my balls are big enough. I just don't want to. And I'm very good at not doing things I don't want to do. So although, that being said, it is winter, and I'm gonna tell you what, man, these heated grips and this heated seat kick ass. Oh, I love it. I actually had to turn the heated seat and the heated grips down by the time I got to the dealership because it was scalding. It was like actually really hot. But other than that, I don't really have much else to say about this bike. I obviously, the more I ride it, the more I learn about it, the more I'll tell you guys about it. But for now, it's just a very, very, very enjoyable ride, and I look forward to every minute I get on the back of this big black beauty. So obviously I mentioned we are going into the winter months here in Ohio. If you can't tell, the leaves on the trees are gone. It's starting to get cold and it gets dark super early. This is the time of the year where either I look for an excuse to travel, like fly on an airplane to a warmer climate and hop on somebody else's bike or a different bike. And I enjoy documenting those travels and creating content via that way. I also enjoy being home and taking my own motorcycles out on the days that allow me to do so. And by the days that allow me to do so, I mean the days where there is no salt on the road, no ice on the road, and call me a fair weather rider, but I don't want it to be super cold. And it's not because I don't want to ride in the cold. I have heated gear. I don't mind putting on heated gear or layering up and riding in the cold. I hate feeling bundled up. Like right now I have a leather jacket on and I physically can't even turn my head, dude. It's so much stuff. I hate feeling this restricted, and so you can call me a fair weather rider. That's fine. I've been called a lot worse things on here, but just know that if I don't have to, I'm not going to. And that's as easy as that. You know, the one thing I do love about making videos like this, and this is a little behind the scenes stuff that I know not all of you enjoy watching, but I love having one camera to edit with because it's easier to edit. I just found myself being so lazy. I haven't really thought about content much lately, and from what I can tell, I think you guys really enjoy that too, because I don't plan this stuff out, man. If I know I have a trip coming up, I'll try to think of a topic around that content and, not just be flapping my mouth all willy-nilly like, but stuff like this, I'm just writing, I'm just talking. This is literally the commentary that goes on in my head 24/7. And it's funny because on my way to the dealership today, I wasn't recording. Like, I didn't have any intention on filming this ride because it's just a maintenance ride. I had to hop on the highway and go get the bike serviced, and that's it. But the commentary I had in my head the whole way to the dealership, I just kept thinking, like, turn the camera on, dude. This is funny. And it's not. That's just my brain thinking. This just feels good. This is what makes me happy. And at the end of the day, I had to have this conversation with somebody over on Facebook a little bit ago. You know, it's coming up on winter months. I made a post on my Facebook, my Instagram, and my YouTube page, and I said, hey guys, I don't like talking about this stuff with you because, like I said, I know a lot of you don't care, but it is important to me, and being with you is important to me, and creating is important to me. So I said, listen, we're coming up into the winter months. I am interested in whether or not you would be interested in, like, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly live streams similar to a podcast style. I'm not into podcasts, total transparency. I don't listen to them. I'm way too ADD to listen to podcasts, especially if there is no rhyme or reason. If it's just people sitting around talking, I'm out. It's just not my vibe. But if I were to come up with a podcast style, semi-annual, some type of live stream where we can all get together, hang out, discuss topics, I can review questions, stuff like that, I'm wondering if you would be interested. And here's why I say that, because live streams don't do well on YouTube. They just don't. People don't have time. They're too long, and genuinely there's not a lot of value given to a broader audience on YouTube. Now, me getting the time with my own audience, you guys watching, and being able to interact with you in real time, that's very valuable to me, and I will always cherish our time together. So that's why I do those things. I'm not out here just to make money on YouTube. I want to do things with you that offers value to the both of us. Now, that being said, I had to talk to somebody because they were like, you know what? Just, it's not a job. Don't treat it like a job. Just do whatever you want. And I was like, hey man, that's cool of you to say that. That's cool of you to give me the liberty to do the things that I want to do. But remember, this is my job. I worked very hard for this. This is exactly what I wanted. When I tell people that I'm a YouTuber, I seriously say it with pride, because it's such a shiny gold star that not everyone can achieve, no matter how hard they work. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. And I know, like, I never take it for granted how valuable this is to me and how, like, rare it is that I found this category and I found this passion. And that's what it is. It is a passion project. I'm obsessed with what I do, and it makes me very happy. Does it get overwhelming? Yeah, just like a normal job. Does it cause burnout? Yeah, sometimes, just like a normal job. But you know what it has done? It has literally changed my life for the better. It has given me endless opportunity and adventures and knowledge and genuinely the best friendships I've ever had. So it is my job, and I do it to make money. I do it to pay my bills. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not out here I bought a freaking 2004 Honda CR-V manual 5-speed. I'm not out here buying, like, big expensive trucks and motorcycles, and, like, that's not what this is about for me. My goal is never to, I don't want to be a channel with 1 million subscribers. I don't want to be $1 million YouTuber. Like, I mean, that would be awesome if the day ever came. But that's genuinely not what I'm striving for. I have always and will always want to be that normal girl, man. I'm that girl next door, grew up in rural Ohio, meat and potatoes kind of person, got my education in art and marketing, and really found something that I never imagined I would find. And I'm going to hold on to it as long as possible. So it's so endearing for you guys to be like, don't treat it like a job. Just do what you want. I do. I literally do whatever the hell I want. But at the end of the day, it is my business. I'm very proud of it, and I want to see it succeed. So I'll ask that question again. If you guys would be interested in any kind of live stream podcast style where we have discussions, I answer questions, specific topics, or maybe even special guests during the winter months, let me know, and I'll try to teach myself how to do that too, because I don't know how to do any of it. It's a little late in the video to talk about this, but if you are wondering, I enjoyed doing touring and grand videos and road trip documentary style stuff. But at the end of the day, I genuinely just enjoy doing this, you know, ripping around and riding motorcycles, seeing friends, and chatting with you guys inside of my helmet. This is how I started my channel. This was always my intention. And I will continue to do this. But with the growth of the channel, which is only reliant on you, like I can't grow this channel. I don't pay for subscribers. That doesn't work. It used to work. It used to work about 10 years ago, but that's not how YouTube works anymore. So my success is solely based off of literally you guys watching right now. And this is your little reminder. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, because that's very important to very important to companies and businesses that decide that whether or not they want to work with me. I feel like here lately I've been giving every video like a reintroduction to myself, and I don't mean to. It always feels like I've been gone for so long, and I don't know why, because I literally post 2 videos every single week, but it's when I'm in the moment like this, inside of my helmet on the back of my bike, talking to you one-on-one instead of telling you what's going on. Like, that's the biggest difference between my content. Usually when I'm traveling, I'm showing you, this is what we're doing, this is blah, 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 blah. But when I'm on the back of my bike in my helmet, I'm talking to you. And that's where I find the therapy in this. Oh boy, all right, let's go vote.
Eventually.
Other than the line, because of course I had to go after a lot of people got off work, in and out, baby. It's so easy to go vote. Well, I'm going to give you some homework, okay? If you haven't done so yet, you definitely need to go check out this video on the screen right now, because it's unlike anything I've ever done before, and I just really think you're going to enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for watching this channel, and until my next one, you be good, and I'll see you later.